Hello,
Hi.
my name's Jimmy.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Mrs. Miller.
Oh, okay. You're here because you got a DUI. We're just gonna have a, an initial conversation to see what's going on in your life. I do need to tell you I'm a mandated reporter, so if there's anything, if you want to harm yourself or others, I do have to report that. But with that being said, can you want to tell me what's going on in your life? Why do you believe you're here?
Yeah, so I know I'm here because I got a DUI, and I guess my family thinks that drinking has been a problem for most of my life. But my wife particularly is really pushing me to come here, and I care about them, so I'm here to try to make a change.
Okay. Can you explain to me your history of alcohol abuse, or if you even consider it abuse? I'm sorry.
So I guess I started drinking when I was a teenager. I thought it was mostly normal drinking, like everyone else. All my friends did the same thing.
What, on the weekends or?
Like on the weekends, sometimes during the week as I got older, more in high school. In college, I went out a lot. I liked to party. And I always grew up, my dad liked to drink, so I always saw him doing that. But he never seemed to have an issue, always had a good job. His wife is still married to him. So I never really saw it as an issue with him. And I guess now, I drink a little bit at work. My family thinks that it's a problem. I guess it is kind of a problem because, I blacked out when I got a DUI. But, my father does it, so I do it.
Okay, this is your first DUI, I assume?
Yes.
And do you drink with your father? And you touched on something about your family may think it's a problem, but that your dad drinks. Mm-hmm. What do they have to say about this?
Well, I think if my father has a drinking problem, it's him and not me because he drinks more than I do. So I think he might have a problem, but I don't really know if I do. But I'm willing to consider it because I have 2 daughters.
And how often do you drink now? At this point in your life?
Pretty much, I would say most days at work, I have a business meeting and I like to have a drink because, I'm worried that the people I'm meeting with will think it's weird if I don't have a drink with them. So I feel like I have to have a drink at lunch.
So every day?
Pretty much.
You drink at lunchtime with your clients?
Yeah, but
do you think it makes you work better, or?
I think it does. I think it gives me energy. It makes me feel more motivated. So.
And has this? You said something about your wife and your family. How has it affected them?
Well, I can't really remember the fights that they tell me about because I black out. But the way they describe it to me is I get pretty nasty, and I think I shoved my wife last night, which is definitely a problem, and I don't want to do that to her because I love her. But they come to me and they say they're scared.
And how are you and your kids? It's an issue with them also? Is that a big motivating factor in you being here?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the motivating factor. My 2 daughters and my husband, because they're what's most important to me.
Yeah, and you said your family. You're outside your family. Do you have other support systems, or is it just mainly your wife and children?
Yeah, I think I have some good friends at work. But I think my husband doesn't really approve because they also like to drink. So I think he thinks it's a bad influence on me. But I consider them my support system because they're my closest friends.
Now you touched on something earlier about blacking out. How many times have you blacked out in your life? Is that a recurring event?
Honestly, I can't really remember. But I guess because I can't remember, it probably means a lot.
And do you consider that maybe an issue?